I mean, how many legendary cartoons can come from one studio? We have Scooby-Doo, the Jetsons, Yogi Bear, the Flintstones, and that's just scratching the surface. And this massive universe of cartoon hilarity is packed with every time period. We have talking animals, there's even huge crossovers that happen every now and again. The Laugh Olympics was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. Now I went beyond what we see at face value to try and uncover some hidden messages that might have been lurking in the shadows. Hey, Most Amazing Top 10 family, I am of course your host, Che Dorena, and I want to welcome you all back to Most Amazing Top 10. Today we're going to be looking at some cartoon classics as I bring you the list of top 10 Scary Hanna Barbera theories. If any of you at home are looking to grab some Most Amazing Top 10 merch, then you should check out the link in the description below and use the offer code MA10, which will give you $5 off. And stick around until the end of this video because I am going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have the Jetsons and the Flintstones take place at the same time. Wait, what? How is this even possible? We have the most futuristic show and the most prehistoric show taking place simultaneously? Well, this is the theory. The idea is that there was a massive war, possibly with nuclear weapons or some sort of other device that would leave the Earth a barren wasteland. Then the wealthy were able to afford a new life. They moved into the clouds and took all their futuristic tech with them. And the poor had nowhere to go, so they had to stay on the ground and literally needed to restart history and become a fresh civilization. The radiation from this apocalyptic war caused strange mutations in animals, and that's how we get the rebirth of things like woolly mammoth and creatures able to develop the ability to talk. Basically, this theory is that the two worlds are like that Matt Damon movie Elysium, the rich up in space and the poor struggling to survive on the surface. At number 9, we have Yogi Bear is just a dude. He's smarter than the average bear. Well, yeah, the dude can talk and he's so crafty he's able to sneak into every picnic basket in the park. Well, what if he's not only sneaking into baskets, but he's getting into their wallets and whatever other valuables people bring with them camping. The theory states that the whole Yogi Bear thing is just a ploy. He's actually a guy in a suit who spends his summers dressing up as a bear and stealing from people. I mean, it would be a pretty good plan. People would run away as soon as they saw you, and then you just waltz into the campsite and you start stealing everything that they leave. Maybe you rack up enough moolah in the spring and summer to vacation for all of the winter, and then when camping season kicks up again, you just rinse, wash, and repeat. And then you have the factor that all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons might take place in the same universe. So with Scooby-Doo being one of those shows, it's not wild to think that someone would dress up in a suit to scare people to steal from them. At number 8, we have Scooby-Doo has real monsters. Now, the vast majority of people that Scoob and the gang run into are just people in suit. There have only been a few occasions where the threat was actually a massive snarling monster, but that's the point. What if there are real monsters running around the Scooby-Doo universe, so much so that dressing up as a ghoul to make a little bit of money doesn't seem that crazy? Because if you're a world where monsters are real, then people would be way more likely to believe your monster suit isn't housing an angry old man, but the beating heart of a creature that wants to slurp up your intestines like linguine. Because Mystery Incorporated has solved literally hundreds of these mysteries and how the majority of them are just dudes in suits, there needs to be some motivator outside of making money to make these villains think this plan would actually work. At number 7, we have Scooby-Doo is a cursed human. Okay, we're rolling off the idea that the Scooby-Doo world is packed full of magic and monsters, but maybe in that reality a talking dog is just commonplace, but maybe it's something that is much more depressing. What if Scooby-Doo is actually a human who was transformed into a dog by some sort of evil witch or cursed gem? This could be why the mystery team is so motivated to get to the bottom of every unanswered question. They are trying to find a cure for Scooby-Doo. The secret goal that they never talk about is that they all want to see their best friend return back to his normal form. I think this theory could be true because I don't think money is the big motivator unless theory number 6 is right. For number 6, we have the mystery team could be the bad guys, but they're always coming in to save the day and rid some small town of some horrible creature that was actually a crusty old man. But as I stated before, how do they afford to keep going town to town and solving these mysteries? Well, because it's all part of the plan. They go into these little small areas and find a way they can implement this monster scheme to make money. They find some poor old sap who loves the idea of stealing a fortune and getting his retirement, and Mystery Incorporated is supposed to come in and confirm the existence of a real monster, but then they double cross the guy, pin the whole crime on him, and then walk away with a huge chunk of whatever is being stolen. This plan is so diabolical, it might just work. At number 5, we have Marvel cross Hanna-Barbera. I don't know if you guys have ever gone back to watch some old animated shows, but there was a run of the Fantastic Four that was on way before I was born. It was in the same style of those cheesy Spider-Man memes you see. You know, the one with the pointing Spider-Man? Well, those Fantastic Four cartoons were produced by Hanna-Barbera Productions. So does that mean the Hanna-Barbera cartoon universe and the Marvel universe are one in the same? I mean, there's a ton of similarities. You have the futuristic world of the Jetsons that floats in the sky, sci-fi. It's kind of like Asgard with less beefcakes. You have superheroes like Captain Caveman and the Atomic Ant, and both universes love crossovers. Now we just need to see a team up of Deadpool and the Smurfs. Coming at number 4, we have the Smurfs are white supremacists. Maybe we'll put a hold on that team up. We're coming to the close of this list, so you know that the theories are going to get a little intense, and this one basically draws all the parallels between the Smurfs and the Ku Klux Klan. First, they all wear white hoods, not a very good look for anyone, and their leader, Papa Smurf, wears red, which is the same color scheme for the Grand Wizard who leads the KKK. On top of this, the Smurfs' villain, Gargamel, looks like a horrible depiction of a Jewish person, and his cat is named after the Hebrew god of death. I mean, it's kind of hard not to see all these similarities. Coming in at number 3, we have the discarded Powerpuffs. We all know that the Powerpuff Girls came from sugar, spice, and everything nice, with a little bit more chemical X than the recipe required. But Professor Utonium was working on making these perfect little girls probably for a little while before he made the Powerpuff Girls, since science rarely gets it right on the first try. So what happened to all those other little girls he made? Well, this theory suggests that Professor Utonium might not be as good of a father as we all think him to be. He has secretly been making and disposing of Powerpuffs for a very long time. This could be hundreds of half-baked little girls that he made in his lab that just died or that he had to kill, and then he buried them somewhere. We already know that he made Mojo Jojo, so he isn't afraid to fail at something scientific horribly and then just go right back to it. If this theory is true, there's a chance that we could get a future episode of Powerpuff Girls where the super-powered zombie Powerpuffs come out of the ground and they all fight each other. That would be super cool. Coming in at number 2, we have Captain Planet is causing global warming. Wait, what? Well, what is the whole point of Captain Planet? To keep the world clean and stop people from polluting. Well, I'm sorry to say, but you didn't do a very good job at that. We are pushing this planet to the brink. Really, the coronavirus did a much better job of cleaning up the planet. Everyone is inside and the smog is clearing up, baby. So in the Hanna-Barbera universe, what would Captain Planet do in this situation? Would he try to save all the people who are killing the planet? Or would he try and save the planet that is getting killed by the people? Well, I think he would for sure save the planet. Also, I want you guys to understand, I'm saying that's what's going on within the cartoon universe. I'm not saying that Captain Planet is causing global warming in our reality. But if we jump back to the previous theory about the Flintstones living in a post-apocalyptic world, what if that apocalypse was caused by Captain Planet and now everything is forced back to a simpler time so the world can heal? And coming in for the number 1 spot, we have the Deep Dark Secret Lab. Alright guys, we made it to the number 1 spot. We've had theories about Yogi Bear and Scooby-Doo, but what about all the other talking animals that are living in this cartoon reality? A lot of them have the ability to talk and are sort of human-esque, so some people think that something nefarious has been going on, that all these talking animals were once either normal people or normal animals, and through some heartless experimentation that was most likely painful, you have the creation of sentient animals that have the ability to communicate with us. The ones we see in the Hanna-Barbera world are the ones that escaped this torturous reality of experimentation and made it to freedom, but there's still thousands of creatures that are being dissected against their will. Oh, the humanity! Well, that's a happy thought to end this video. Alright everyone, that has been our list, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets each day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. I usually pick who messaged last, so if I don't pick you, you can just message again and again and again. If it takes me a little while to get back to you, I'm very sorry. I have a lot of these to do, and without taking any longer, let's get into this list. First off, we have Luna, who is enjoying her amazing day on the beach. Then we have this little dude right here. This guy is the best. Look at that little sausage dog. I love him. Then we have Artemis, who is the biggest, cutest eyes just staring back at you. After that, we have this Puggerino Max. He is the most pug of pugs I have ever seen. He is the puggiest pug. And to close it out, we have a couple of cats. This dream team is named Bunny and Olivia, and they are a perfect match. All right, everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been your host, Shade Reina, and keep watching those cartoons.